Hello, this is Kaki Lee, and welcome to the Abundant Goddess Show, where I'll be sharing daily, bite sized pearls of wisdom I've picked up along my life journey that has allowed me to embrace and unleash my inner abundant goddess. And that's exactly what I want for you, to embrace and unleash your inner abundant goddess. I love talking about anything and everything to do with life, but I especially love talking about money, mindset, and energy, which is the main focus here. If you like what you hear, make sure you subscribe to my show so you don't miss out on your daily dose of wisdom from myself. And also follow me and let me know what you think on Facebook and Instagram at Abundance with Kaki Lee. Now let's get into it. Welcome to the Abundant Goddess Show. And yes, I'm in my car this morning because I had just dropped off my little girl, and I really feel that I needed to record the episode right in this moment. Today's pearl of wisdom is you're not a bad mum. Why I'm talking about this is because I felt like a bad mum this morning, and also I've had conversations in the last few days about parenting with different people and how sometimes we feel like we're traumatizing our children and stuffing up our kids. So this morning for me, I really felt called to record now is because I just dropped off my daughter at daycare, and she's nearly 3, and she usually is really good at drop off. You know, we'll go in and then she's like, bye mummy, and then I can go off. This morning, before we got to daycare, she realized she forgot to bring her new toy to daycare to show her educators, because she was so excited at home saying, oh, I want to show Cat to Alice. And so we nearly got there, and she realized she forgot and told me to go home. I'm like, we're too far from home, darling. We cannot go back to get it. And so she lost her shit. And then when I say lost her shit, I mean like the crying without the sound coming out, lost her shit, and then the high pitched screaming. So I was like, okay, we just have to go through this. Like, we just have to deal with this and just do whatever we can. So got to daycare, took her out of the car, and she's like screaming, and the educators from like that could see out was like, oh, what's wrong? Because they know she is usually really chilled and just really relaxed and easygoing. So they were like, oh, what's wrong? And then one of them actually said, hey, do you want to, I told them what was happening, and she's like, let's look at the special toy box. And she's like, okay. So I went, okay, cool, right, I think we're good. Got into the room, and she refused to let me leave. So I spent another good 10 minutes trying to console her, and all she wanted to do was like cuddle me and give me kisses. And I was like, oh baby, I'm very soft as a mum. Yeah. So easily manipulated parent. So she was like kissing me and hugging me. I'm like, oh, you know, mommy needs to go to work, daddy's at work, your sister's at school, and you need to be at school. And she was not having a bar, but I was trying to bribe her. Yeah. I was like, how about we have your favorite snack when you get home, but you need to be at, nope, nothing. Try to distract him, like, why don't you show me this? Nah. So then it got to the point where I'm like, mummy needs to go, and mummy's going to give you to Helen. So I gave her to the educator, and she screamed the house down, and I just felt so bad. And I was thinking, oh my gosh, she is traumatized, and she's going to have abandonment issues, and she's going to have to do a lot of healing when she grows up, because I because I overthink. I'm too self-aware, and you know, see the patterns when I, you know, dealing with clients and people that I have spoken to on podcasts and things like that. But I mean, obviously she'll be fine. But I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm like the worst mom in the world, da, da, da. And then I thought back to some conversations I've had this week about parenting, and how we can never control the situation. As much as we want to control our kids, we can't. There is 0% chance of you being able to control your kids, just like there's 0% chance of anyone controlling you. Sometimes you might go, okay, but that person made me do it. But remember, you always have a choice. People forget that they always have a choice. So same thing with kids. We might go, okay, we're instilling good values in them. We're teaching them how to be good people in the world, in society. Why have they gone and become like this. That's because you have zero control over what your kids will become, right? I'm doing my best to instill good values into my kids and be present with my kids, but I'm not perfect. And I have days where I'm like gone off my trolley and screaming at the kids because I've just had it. You know, when you repeat yourself 10 times, I've mentioned this before, and the 11th time is like when I break. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I just screamed at my kids. I've just traumatized them and they're going to hate me for life. You know, all those things that come up in your head, the stories that then you make up is really crazy. But I want you to, I wanted to remind every single parent, mums and dads, that you're doing your best. You're doing your best with the resources you have, with the knowledge that you have, with the mindset that you currently have, with the energetic component as well of, you know, being in that energy, in the current energy that you are in. Right. And yes, we have a choice to be better every single day, every single moment. Okay. Maybe you felt like a shit parent today, like I did, but now I'm like, okay, let's move forward. I'm not a shit parent, you know, thinking of all the good things that I do with my kids. Yes, I have those moments where I'm like, not the best version of myself. But then I do say sorry to my kids. I ask for forgiveness for my kids. And then we talk about it and we have an understanding and then we move on. And so for me, I'm like, okay, that's how I want to create that environment for my kids where they have the ability and they feel safe to express their emotions, express what they want, and be okay, like, you know, and understand why I am a certain, you know, behaving a certain way. And then I explain to them why it triggers me or activates me, and how we can work together so that we don't have this again the next time. Obviously, it happens again and again because kids are kids and kids are kids and they're still learning. But we are also still learning. I think we need to remember that we're always forever learning. And what you believe right in this moment, something might happen in your life the next moment and your whole perspective might change. So, was the things that you were teaching your kids like 2 seconds ago still applicable when your whole perspective has changed? So, we need to remember that we shouldn't hold so tightly to our beliefs and all the things that should be in our lives and how our kids should act or should behave or should think, because we are constantly changing when we allow ourselves to, and we always constantly have choice. So I just wanted to remind people that you are doing a great job, right? And if you want to be a better version, if you are self-aware and you know, okay, I can be a better parent, then make that choice and be the better parent. Right? You can't say that, oh, I don't know how to, or, you know, it's too hard. Well, that's your choice for not stepping up to be a better version of yourself. Right? So at the end of the day, we all have choice. So it's up to you to give yourself compassion when you aren't the best version of yourself and go, all right, right now, I'm not the best version of myself. Let's choose again and be better. Right? Be a better version, be a more loving version, be a more compassionate and empathetic version of ourselves, rather than being that controlling, control freak, screaming, angry version of ourselves. Right? And like I said, it's okay. We all have those moments. Just remember to offer yourself compassion, say sorry to the people that you are going off at, and move on. Do the healing process right there and then, so that it's not stuck there and then you have to heal it like 15 years, 20 years time. So important. So important, because we like to hold on to things. We like to hold on to things and we don't like to forgive. And what happens is that becomes like stuck emotion. So if we can do the healing, we can do the forgiving, we can do the self-loving, straight away when we have one of those moments or very quickly afterwards, then we can move on and we don't have those stuck energies in our body to work through later. We're doing the healing instantly. Change can be instant, and we need to remember that. So please remember, you are doing your best. You are doing amazing. Your kids love you. And I'm sending you so much love as a parent, because I know it's not the easiest job. It is the hardest job in the world because you care so much. So I'm sending you all so much love, all the parents that are listening to this, and all the to-be parents, or, you know, parents to fur babies, everyone I'm sending so much love to. And that's the end of the show. Please send this episode, share this episode to anyone that needs a reminder that they're not a bad parent, they're not a bad mom. If you like what you heard, make sure you subscribe to my show and follow me over at Facebook and Instagram at Abundance with Kaki Lee to connect with me there and let me know what you think of the episode. Also, if you want to learn from me or work with me, then send me a DM on Facebook or Instagram, or email me at hello@kakilee.com.